Hey guys, Such Sports here, back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing another 10-team PPR mock draft. This time we're going to be selecting from pick 10. Going to be targeting the likes of Monroe St. Brown, Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, Ashton Genty, and we'll build our team around them. And in this mock draft, we're going to be focusing on the new ADPs. So JCM has been moved up on ESPN quite a bit. Travion Henderson has been moved up quite a bit on ESPN as well. There's lots of NFL news to recap as today's roster cut down day. So all the 53-man rosters will be determined today. And we did see Kenny Pickett get traded to the Raiders. And we saw Trey Hendrickson get his raise. He'll be making $30 million for the season and be a free agent after this season. McLaurin got paid, so his ADP might be up. This is gonna be a fun draft. Lots of news to react from this draft. So hopefully we'll get some different picks here, at least from the other users. As McLaurin is now without the questionable sign, he's at 35. JCM, I believe, is in the 100 range. He might have been moved up even more. He's actually at 82. Yeah. So JCM has moved up quite a bit. Gonna be interesting to see if we can get him. I'll try to aim for him if I can get him in round 8, but we'll see if he's available then. But yeah, guys, soon enough we're gonna be doing our season predictions for this for every game of the season. So I'll be making a video this coming week, predicting the whole season game by game, giving my playoff predictions, award predictions, as well as Super Bowl predictions, and we'll be ranking each position according to fantasy football and real life. Maybe one or the other. We'll see how much time I get before the season, but I'm going to be doing that, so that'll be fun. As this draft is going to start here, the strategy will be to take either Ashton Genty. We need one running back and one receiver in these first 2 rounds. I think that's the optimal strategy to go for that. We'll see how the board falls, but I think going one running back and one receiver in a 10-team league where you have to pick 10 is probably the smartest thing to do. So we'll sit and wait on who becomes available. So Jamar Chase he goes along with Bijan, pretty standard stuff. Again, the draft starts at 7, so the top 6, unless someone makes a pick like Puka I've seen or McCaffrey, then we're gonna get a pretty standard top 6. So at 10 here, it's gonna be interesting because we have the turn pick. So I'm gonna be looking at Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Genty, potentially Nico. We'll see who falls. But last time I got a Chan in round 3, so that was definitely an anomaly because I've not seen him go around 3 ever. So that was a good value pick there. We'll see if we can get any value picks like that in this draft. But with this guy likely taking Jefferson, he wants Puka 6. Okay, interesting. Now that Stafford is healthy, Puka's starting to go higher in drafts. I don't agree with him being 6 over McCaffrey or Jefferson, but interesting pick there at pick 6. So Jefferson goes 7. McCaffrey will likely go 8. So we're just gonna wait. We have picking 2 picks. So ideally, I want Neighbors here with one of my 2 picks, and I'll probably get Genty. So I'll be drafting Genty as the RB4 or RB5. Do I think he's gonna finish as RB5? Maybe, maybe not. But I like his safe floor. So going with him as one of my 2 running backs will be pretty solid. Henry goes 8, so I have a chance at McCaffrey here. I would consider him in Neighbors. Or consider him in Nico as well. I do like Nico quite a bit. But I'm going to assume that McCaffrey is not available at pick 10, as he does become available. So Genty goes at 9. At this point in the draft, I have to go CMC. So I'm going to take him with one of my 2 picks. And the next pick, I'm either deciding between Neighbors, Amon-Ra, of course, or Nico. I think the play is to go with Nico. It's very tough. I'm going to go CMC with my first pick, as I did get timed out, I believe, but I think I got McCaffrey. I did. So I got McCaffrey and Neighbors. I did get timed out. That's okay, though. I was going to go between Neighbors or Nico, so that's fine. I'm going to make sure I'm not on auto pick here, but McCaffrey Neighbors start like that a lot. With these next 2 picks, I'm probably going to look at Chase Brown as an option in round 3 if he's available. If not, we'll look at QBs. But I do like that start a lot with McCaffrey Neighbors. It was either between Neighbors and Nico, and I don't mind getting timed out to get Neighbors there. They do have the same bye week, but that's fine. It's a late bye week, and honestly, it won't matter too much, I don't think, since it's just a mock draft. But looking at Drake London, obviously, if he's available in round 3, I'll take him. Let's see. So some of the picks did disappear. from round one to the start of round two. We can just see on the board here, but on the feed you can't see. So Achane goes round two. Josh Jacobs does go above Nico and Brian Thomas. I don't agree with that pick there. I think it's a little higher for Josh Jacobs, especially in PPR. I think he's a great running back, but to say that he goes over Nico or BTJ, it's a little high. I would take London or JT over him as well, even though JT doesn't get too many receptions. In terms of other outstanding news, I want to talk about individual players. Um, yeah, we can discuss Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's gonna have a ton of targets, even though Lawrence didn't target him as much when he played. Even with Travis Hunter in the fold, I think BTJ will be a great tier two receiver to have, and I think he's a very valuable pick at that slot in round two. I think it's a great pick there. Same with London and Chase Brown. I like those picks a lot. So I'm not gonna get Chase Brown. I'm not gonna get JT. It's gonna be look. I'm gonna look at Kyron probably. I'm gonna consider Lamar or Josh Allen if they're available. I think the value of the quarterback there is definitely okay to take in round four. Receivers, I think I can wait on. I think I'm gonna get my second running back. I think that's a priority. So Marion Hampton will be great. Jonathan Taylor obviously would be great. So we'll see if they're available. Um, as Jonathan Taylor does go right after. So I would have taken either of those picks, London, Chase Brown, JT. None of them fall to me, but that's fine. We'll just see how the next 9 picks go. It's looking like both tight ends will be gone. So in the spot we're in pick 10, it's really hard to get two great running backs very quickly. So getting Chase Brown and McCaffrey is very hard to do in a 10-team league where you're at the turn at the end of the draft. So with this is a lot of waiting to do between rounds. So I have to consider that I need to get at least one more running back within these next 2 rounds because the running back talent does drop off quite a bit. So when you're in these drafts in 10-team leagues, getting 2 running backs early is very important. If you don't get one of these guys in tier 2 through 3, at this point we're in tier 3. You're gonna have to look at Ja'Cory Merritt. You're gonna have to look at Tony Pollard, who I do like. I do like both of those guys. Pacheco's not bad, but do you really want him as RB2? Probably not. So it's very important to get running back early in this spot at pick 10. So Kyron does go. It looks like Amarian might fall to me. If he does, I'll take him as with my 2 picks. T. Higgins might fall as well. I'd not mind T as my receiver too. And if I pass a running back here, I have to wait for either. I'm probably not gonna get Henderson in round 5. So I'd have to look at Tony Pollard, who's not bad at all, but I'd be more comfortable with him as my RB3 rather than my RB2. So going Amarian here would be the best pick, I think. And if you're in a situation where Amarian does not fall, then you're gonna have to consider James Cook, who I think is okay in fantasy. Last year he was great with the touchdowns. I think his touchdown number might come down a little bit with Ray Davis potentially getting more touches. So I like Amarian more than James Cook this year. I like Henderson more than James Conner and potentially more than Chuba in fantasy. So I'd rank him even higher than these two. Would not mind him, but I might have to reach for a running back here, which is fine. Most of the QBs are going. So Lamar and Hurts went. I believe Josh Allen did not. Did Josh Allen go? He did. So Marion Hampton's still available. T. Higgins as well. I think those two are going to be the picks. Don't think I need to force a quarterback here. So I'm going to go Marion, which at the end of round 3, I'll absolutely take. Don't mind that at all. So T. Higgins is available. Same with JSN. Who are both great options. With T. Higgins, he's the receiver 2. So you're not going to get that Jamar Chase stat line with him. You're going to be very settled for a receiver 2, which I don't mind at all. Kittle is also available, which is very intriguing. I might have to go Kittle here. I'm going to take T. It's a very hard choice to go between T, Kittle, or JSN, but with the Bengals offense throwing the ball so much, T. Higgins is a very safe pick as long as he stays healthy. He's very tough on last year, but I think this year Higgins can stay healthier, hopefully, and we'll see how much he produces in the Bengals offense. We're going to put up 30 points a game again. So I'll take Tina Murray in there. But I do like the receiver depth a lot. So if I would be happy with going with the Rushy or Sutton next. So I'm assuming all of these guys will be gone or most of them in 17 picks. So that was the debate there between going with Neighbors, Kittle, or potentially getting Sutton or Rice next. So that was definitely a debate to consider. But don't mind T. Higgins at all there. So I'm going to look at Henderson, Rushy, or Sutton next. And I can honestly wait on tight end if Kittle is gone. I don't mind waiting for like Njoku. Andrews is okay. I like Hawkinson quite a bit. We'll see who falls. As Joe Burrow is still available, but in 15 picks will be gone. I'll queue these two. I mean, I'm absolutely take them in round 5, round 6, but I know I won't get them. Same with Henderson. But I think in round 5, round 6, you have to go with the receiver, given who's available at these spots. So Rashee Rice, Cortland Sutton, with 1 or 2 picks. Um, if you're in this spot with 2 running backs, 2 receivers, I think those two both make sense. QBs, I like Burrow, but after that, I think Baker in round 7 is fine. Um, I wouldn't take him in round 6 with these next picks. So there's too much value left on the board. Where I can get Bo Nix later and get a really good receiver in Sutton or Rashee Rice. And I'm not really too scared of Rashee Rice's suspension, so I don't mind taking him. I think he'll produce big numbers in Kansas City. He'll be the #1 option. Huge on him and Sutton this year. So Henderson goes round 4 on pick 6. Pretty standard stuff. No outstanding reaches. I liked Henderson and McLaurin over Kenneth Walker. So I think the Walker pick was a little early, but let's see how these next few picks go. So JSN goes close to the end of round 4. Burrow and Kittle look like they're going to go in the next few picks. So Burrow goes into round 4. Kittle could go here as well. Let's see though. We can look at the other teams after my 2 picks. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get Kittle in 9 picks, unfortunately. I would definitely take him, but don't think I'll get him. So Rushy or Sutton would be nice. Don't mind that at all. Let's see. I like Tet later. In terms of running backs, I like Pollard at this point. Maybe not around 6, but I think I can get him at the next turn, maybe. Since there are like 5 running backs ahead of him, he could go in the middle of round 6, but I think I'm gonna wait on him for a bit. Because I do like JCM a lot as well. So him as my RB3, I wouldn't mind. But let's see. So Kittle is still available, but I think he'll be gone. He's the second best player available. There's still 8 picks. Kamara went start round 5, good value there, getting Kamara in round 5. Where someone like took Kenneth Walker on 4. I think I would have Kamara this year, even though the Saints offense is going to be pretty atrocious. I think Kamara will be fine this year. Garrett Wilson does go, so Kittle's still available. Does not look like he's going to fall to me in 5 picks. So he does go middle of round 5. Good value there. Think Kittle will have be the #1 target option in San Francisco. Sam Ricky Pearsall, I think he'll have a great year. But I think Kittle could be tight end 1 or 2. So that's why I wanted him in that spot. But in terms of QBs, don't love the QB options right now. In round 6, I'd rather have Pollard or a top receiver. So I'm going to wait there. And tight ends, I like Hawkinson, but I like Laporta as well, but I'd be comfortable with waiting as well. So let's see. So Sutton and Rice are both available. Let's see here. 2 picks. The debate was either T. Higgins or Kittle, and I'm glad I got T. But in some drafts, I think experimenting with Kittle there with McCaffrey, Hampton, Neighbors, and Kittle start will be pretty good because you can look at the receiver depth here and take 2 receivers with receiver 2 and 3 in the flex. So there's always options to consider there for that scenario with Higgins, but maybe in a future scenario with Kittle. But I do have Kittle above Higgins in like rankings, sort of, but I wanted to go with Higgins there in that situation just to see how it play out. So Sutton does go, but Rushy is available. I'm gonna take Rushy. Marvin Harrison's still available as well. We don't need a 4th receiver this early. QBs I can wait on. Tight ends, no reason to force it. So I do like Marvin Harrison a lot as well. And round 6 makes sense for him. I'm gonna take Rushy. I could snag Marvin Harrison now, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take Pollard now, even though that seems a little early. Got Pollard as RB3. He wouldn't have fell to me in round 7, I don't think. So, or in 18 picks. So I think I wanted my guide there, as Tajay Spears is gonna be out for the first 4 weeks. So getting Pollard now, I think it's smart. Then take QB and tight end later. So Laporta and Hawkinson both available. I can get them in round 7 or 8. At this point, Marvin Harrison's a good value pick in round 6. I do like Ted McMillan a lot in round 7 if I can get him. Would be hard, obviously, but we'll see. So pretty good split between running backs and receivers. Got no quarterback and no tight end so far. That's fine with me. I don't mind waiting there. Baker's still available. If he's available in round 7, I'll absolutely take him. But Bo Nix, obviously still available, like him quite a bit. Let's see here. So Marvin Harrison's gonna be gone. Ridley will probably be gone. At this point, I'm looking at Mayfield, Laporta, McMillan. Laporta does go. Myers would be a good value pick, although he did request a trade, so we're gonna monitor his situation and see if I still like him this much, depending on where he goes or if he stays. Um, let's see though. JCM would be a good value pick in round 7, 8. So Holmes does go. So Mayfield's the best quarterback available. So I'm guessing he'll be gone, but we'll see. Yeah, my guess is Pickens, JMO, Mayfield are all gone. All these picks that I like are probably all going to be gone. We can look at the other teams. The pick one team, when Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, AJ Brown, Joe Burrow, Kamara, very solid. I like that team quite a bit. Second pick team, when Bijan, Chase Brown, Brock Bowers, Jason Connor. I like the running backs there. He's a little weaker receiver, but he can probably get good value here at this point. Pick 13 did really well with Gibbs and London, McBride. Don't love Garrett Wilson or Tyreek, but they're not bad picks. Saquon, Bucky, Josh Allen, Chuba. Probably the weaker team of the four that I just named off was where I like the top three teams. CD, BTJ, McConkey, Henderson, Kittle, Harvey. A little weak at running back, but a very good team. Outside of that, so Puka Nakua, Nico, Kyron, Terry McLaurin, Swift, Mahomes round 6 pick team. Not great. Don't love the Swift pick that early. Think Mike Evans would have been better there, even though he has a lot of receivers. Sutton would have been better. Rushy would have been better. The pick 6 team is okay. Pick 7, Jefferson, Jacobs, Lamar, Kenneth Walker. Don't love that team. Pick 8 team went Henry. He went Amon-Ra, Hurts, Devontae. Not a bad team. Pick 9 team, little weak. I don't love Metcalf, a chain, or James Cook's okay. I like my team quite a bit. I think the top 3 picks in my team are probably the 4 best teams that stand out the most. I would say the pick 2 team is probably the strongest with Bijan, Chase Browers, Brock Bowers, JSN. It's very debatable. The pick 1 team has Chase Burrows stacked, so I can see the value even for that. A lot of depth at running back too. So I can see the pick 1 team being the best. But I do like mine quite a bit. I think mine matches up with the pick 1 team really well. If Baker becomes available at this point, I think he's a great value pick in round 8, even with the loss of Liam Cohen. Jameson Williams, obviously available. Hawkins going to be a good pick in round 8 here. Cannot complain about that. Lots of receiver depth available, so I'm not going to just take a receiver when I have like Diggs or Egbuka or Debo in the next turn. So I'm going to wait. But JCM would be a good pick at this point. Need a tight end, so Pacheco goes. Hawkinson just went, so I'm going to wait on tight end. That would have been my pick, him and Mayfield, but let's see who becomes available. Do like JMO here at this spot in round 8. I think that'd be a great pickup. Baker obviously would be a good pick in round 8, or end of round 7. Yeah, I think Baker would be one of my 2 picks. He's available. If not, I'll probably wait on quarterback even more. So Diggs does go, who I did like a lot. I still do like a lot, but he's gone. Myers, JMO, probably the 2 best receivers available. Matthew Golden, like Buka, like Debo. So okay, Baker's available. I'm gonna take him with my 2 picks. The next pick would probably be Myers here. Or if I want upside, I can go for JCM and have 4 great running backs. I think I'm gonna do Mayfield and JCM. I'm gonna get Mayfield here, and then I'm gonna take JCM. A little bit of risk going JCM around 8, but I know I won't get him the next turn, so might as well just get him now and stack my receivers in the next 2 picks. So like Mayfield, McCaffrey, Hampton, Neighbors, Higgins, Rice. Good start there. Very happy with that selection because I knew I would not be able to get JCM in the next turn. And I'd rather have the depth of receivers like Buka, Debo, Myers, Golden. And I already have 3 receivers, so no reason to push for one there when I can have a bunch of options at the next turn. Tight end is a need for sure. Tyler Warren is still available. I think he'll become available in round 10, 9, 10. So that's fine with me. I'm fine with waiting for that. For the last few picks, Kelsey Cup, I'd rather have Baker and JCM. So I don't mind getting Baker at the end of round 7 there. I think that's good value for him, especially if they're throwing the ball a lot. So I like that a lot. Yeah, Pollard, JCM, running backs at the bench. My running back room is pretty much set up pretty well. So I could go receiver at this point. Just straight 2 receivers, or I can go tight end with one of my next 2 picks. We'll see who's available. As Judy goes, But yeah, with JCM, his only competition is Eckler and Chris Rodriguez. I think he can pass up Chris Rodriguez pretty quickly, and Eckler plays a different role from JCM. I think JCM can be a really nice RB3 in fantasy this year, potentially RB2, a low end RB2. We'll see. I think I like him as an RB3, and he's my fourth running back in this, so I don't mind that at all. Getting him there. So let's see. Ibuka does go around 8, so I wanted him. Kind of makes sense that he does go there. They're very high on Ibuka. The Bucks are. With Godwin coming off an injury, that makes sense that he goes around 8. That's more of a second half of the season stash where he's going to go. I think he's going to go ballistic in the second half of the season. So good pick there in round 8. Same with Matthew Golden. I think he will come along in the second half or middle of the end of the season. I like Debo a lot with my next pick. I think people are sleeping on him, despite the if he's in shape concern or not. Bo Nix, great value picking on 8. Godwin goes around 8 as well, but like the Ibuka and Bo Nix picks by the other users. But very happy with my team. A little risk of injury with McCaffrey at running back 1, but I'm trying to win the league. It's if you're picking McCaffrey, you're trying to win the league. So you're swinging for first place. So might as well take that chance with McCaffrey. Neighbors does have a lingering injury, but I think they're just being precautious and he'll be fine. Um, but outside of that, the risk is just Rushy and CMC. I think the team is very safe. Outside of that, Hampton obviously has he has risk of just you know how many carries he's gonna get with Najee there, but I think Hampton will take over the RB1 spot pretty quickly. I think he'd be a top 10 RB in fantasy pretty quickly. So Debo Myers, Pearsall will be one of my picks here, and then tight end I'm looking at Warren or Njoku. I don't think I can get Warren in round 11, so I might just take him here. In terms of running backs, there's not too many left available. I don't need any more running backs, I don't think, unless someone like Caleb Johnson falls in round 11. He won't, but um, let's see, man. I think Myers is the best pick available in round 9, round 10, despite the trade request. Yeah, and Njoku would be a good value pick. And Njoku does go right before me. Same with Pearsall. Debo and Myers both available. I think one of them will be available within the next 3 picks. I think Tyler Warren's probably the best pick here. Andrew's obviously a good pick at this point in round 10. Wouldn't mind that. But let's see, man. So 2 picks left. Caleb Johnson does go as expected. Looks like Ingram is going to be available too. We'll see. I think Myers is falling too much at this point. I think he'll stay with the Raiders or get moved to a good situation. I think it's hard to see him being in a bad situation where he doesn't get enough targets for a receiver 4. I think that's a good value at this point. So we'll see. He won't get as many targets as he did last year. If he gets moved to another team because he had 129 targets last year, that's a lot to ask for. As he does go right before me, same with Debo. So Warren will be one of my 2 picks. I could go double down on tight end, but I'm not going to do that. Andrews is also available. So I feel like Andrews enough. I could take him with likely out. It's tough, man. I think I'm gonna go Warren with one of 2 picks, like Tyler Warren. I'll go Andrews right now. I could double down on tight ends. I could also get Loveland later. In terms of receivers, I like Juwan Jennings enough to take him. Could go receiver as well with only 3. I think that makes sense a lot. Pittman could be a solid option. Same with Jordan Addison if I want him. Jaden Reed is not bad at this point. Could double down and go Warren as well. You know what? Let's do it. Let's double down on tight end. Let's get Tyler Warren. Very risky going back to my tight end round 9, round 10. I lose on some value to receiver, but I don't mind going after Mooney later to be my receiver 4. Because it is receiver 4. At the end of the day, I'm not going to start him unless I need to. So I like doing that and getting some upside there with Warren. I feel like JCM and Tyler Warren's good upside on my bench for now, and I can target a receiver at the next turn as well as backup quarterback. So I can target Dak or Juwan Jennings or Mooney, and them as receiver 4s would absolutely take. But yeah, Mayfield, McCaffrey, Hampton, Neighbors, Higgins, Andrews, Rice, can't complain about that at all. I still get the 7.5 out of 10 team. Not the best team I drafted, but not the worst. But yeah, McCaffrey falling around to pick 10 was a surprise. Considering the schedule is so easy, I'm pretty high on McCaffrey this year. I would take him at pick 7 for sure. I'd consider him over some guys at pick 6 as well. But I think that's as high I'd go on him. But yeah, pretty happy with Andrews and Warren there. Now it's time to just focus on receiver at this point. Let's see. We have Keon Coleman, available. At this point, around 11, I like him enough because of the value. Jaden Higgins not bad at all either. Um, don't mind that at all. Um, yeah, with Neighbors, Higgins, and Rice, I think it's hard to find a weakness there. So I like this team a lot. Let's see who falls to me in round 11, though. The last few picks were Pittman, Warren, Javonte, JK. I don't love any of those picks outside of maybe Pittman. Um, I did like taking Tyler Warren there because he wouldn't have been available in round 11, so I'd rather have the upside there at tight end. So I feel like I'm pretty comfortable at most positions outside of maybe QB, where I might need a second one in Dak or Drake May, depending on who's available. So I'll queue up May as well, and then I'll queue up. Gunnar receivers queued up already. I could queue up Pop or Rashad Bateman. I don't love either of them, but at this point in the draft, it's not bad value. As my pick is coming up in 9 picks, running backs are still available, so I'll leave the backups. Ramondre's still available. I don't think I'm gonna get him in 8 picks, but I don't think I want him either. Just because of lack of upside. Judkins wouldn't be bad. Same with Jordan Mason. Don't need a running back right now though. So considering I have 4 already and only 3 receivers. Yeah, I want to try different strategies, see how it play out. Taking 2 tight ends and taking running backs heavy. So I think it played out well for me. The one consideration was taking Higgins over Kittle. That was the one big turning point of the draft. Because otherwise the team would look like it'd probably be Neighbors, Rushy, and another receiver there with Kittle, and then the bench would look a little different. Maybe it's off Pollard or Karski Merritt, but I wouldn't have Tyler Warren. I don't think. So very different trade off there. It's interesting to look at the different scenarios that could have happened in that draft in this draft, but I don't mind going with T Higgins there. So with this next pick, I'm hoping for Juwan Jennings if he falls. Do like him quite a bit. I think he get a good amount of targets. And as receiver 4, I don't mind it. Like he would never start for me. So there's that. Unless I guess in the scenario that Higgins or Rice have a bye week, they both have the same bye week, then they would start. But let's see here. Juwan also, so Juwan Mooney, Jaden Higgins would be the 2 best picks. I think I could wait on backup QB a little bit and get May. I do like Dak or May, but I don't need to force the backup QB pick. Let's see though. Let's see who becomes available. Juwan Jennings does go, but I still have Mooney or Jaden Higgins, and I think one of them will become available at my pick. Don't love Keenan Allen. I don't think he's a good value pick here. Yeah, May is a good pick here. Loveland would be a good option, but I already have 2 tight ends. Don't need another one. Trey Benson would be solid. I don't need another running back. Really, I wouldn't start him. And unless he breaks out, I'd start him, but not the best options there, as it's pretty thin out now in round 11, round 12. So let's see if Mooney or Jaden Higgins is available. One of them will be. And if they are, I might take both of them here. ETN does go. Dak is available, so I wouldn't mind that. I think I'm going to go Dak Mooney. I think it makes sense. So I'm going to take Dak, and then Mooney the receiver 4 if I need to start him at any point. So got Dak, got Mooney. Very solid. Quarterback is very deep now. Have 2 bench spots remaining and a defense. We'll queue up Broncos and Pittsburgh defense. So we'll do that. And then we'll queue up Aubrey and Jake Bates. But we don't need a kicker right now. We'll take him last. We can look at running backs now. So Quinshon Judkins would be a good value. I like Braylon Allen to take over some touches from Breece Hall. I think he's a good value pick at this point in the draft. I would very consider most of you guys to take Braylon Allen in round 13, round 14 at this spot. I'd consider him over Tajay Spears or Jalen Wright, over Algier, over Jaden Blue. I'd want him over a bunch of guys that are above him. Jaden Higgins is still available. He'll probably be gone in round 13. So Herbert goes, as well as Keenan Allen. But do like Jaden Higgins in round 13 at this spot. We can take another snapshot of the other teams. I like the bench of getting Bo and Caleb Williams QB, not bad. Like Roman Rent round 9. I like this team getting Ibuka, Chris Olave, Kraft, and Jane Reed. I think you got good value picks with Kraft around 10, Ibuka around 8. Don't mind this bench. Waddle around 8, Pearsall around 9, not too bad. This pick did pretty bad, I think, with Joku, Dobbins, Keon, Jordan Love. This team as well, I don't think they did the best job with Javonte, Caleb. Myers, Warren, Bigsby, Herbert, not great either. I think they did a really solid job with the bench, getting Mooney, Dak, Warren Andrews, also JCM. So pretty happy with that. Pollard my lead bench player with Dak and Warren as well. Um, so we'll see who's available in round 13. Lots of people are going on auto now at this point. I'll blame them. Still a mock draft. So Judkins does go. I'm looking at Trey Benson in round 14 with one of my last two bench spots. Adam Thielen might get traded, so we'll monitor his situation. He's not too fantasy relevant in 10 team leagues, but always good to monitor. Pop Douglas, I'll monitor as well. If I want him at this stage, I wouldn't mind him at all, but we'll see. Have lots of running back depth. Receiver depth is a little thin, but I don't mind it. I definitely need one more receiver to round out my team. But Rice, Higgins, Neighbors is really solid, I think. So I'm fine with that. If Rice is suspended, I still have Mooney to start. I still have a flex like Pollard or JCM, so I don't really mind taking Rice there. As Steelers defense does go. So we could go receiver also and then defense, because it looks like defense might start going here as Steelers defense does get chosen. So I want Denver defense. I want the best receiver available. So it's looking like Bateman, Pop Douglas, Luther Burden could be a good pick at this point. Lots of mouths to feed in the Chicago offense, but wouldn't mind him at this stage. But we'll see. In two picks here. So Trey Benson does go. Wanted him, but that's fine. I have enough running backs. Looking like I can get Luther Burden or Demario Douglas here. Hollywood and Ayuk still available, but Ayuk I'm not super high on because of the injury, but let's see. So Loveland does go. Good value pick there. I like Luther Burden enough here, like Pop Douglas. I'll take Luther Burden here. More of a late season stash, and I'll go Denver defense to round it out. So one bench spot running. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now. I'm gonna take the best bench player available between Tootin, Braylon Allen, Nick Chubb, or Woody Marks or a receiver. So we'll end off the video here, guys. Thanks so much for watching this mock draft. As I got this bench with Burden and Denver Broncos, my last two picks on camera here. We'll see you guys in the next mock draft. Thank you.